So, good evening, guys and girls, if there's any girls here, and welcome to the inaugural season of WRL. It's myself, Chris, and Mitch, a resident South African, joining us to get this new league and new season underway. Good evening, Mitch.
Good evening, Chris. How are you, man?
I am very good, mate. Excited to see what lies ahead of some very familiar drivers. Excited for what's ahead. And we will see we will see some new names in the mix as well, so we'll give a quick rundown of the teams and the point system and how things are going to work. Some slight tweaks and changes to what maybe some people watching before knew, but you will hear that as I go through. So we have Kristaps and Mattoman in the Mercedes, Mikey and SBW in the Bulls, Fusion and F. Lewis in the McLarens, J. Entex Bossman Racing Point, Deepover Mad G Renault, Mike and Pedro in the Ferraris, Damiano and Tyne in the Alpha D's, Jensen and Pele in the Alpha R's, Jim Strav, Jalme, Haas and Tees and Brock in the Williams. Couple of power teams there, teams to watch. I think Mitch on the offset has got to be Williams with Tees and Brock. They are going to be a very, very strong team. I think the Alpha Romeos as well, the Alpha R's and Jensen and Pele, that could be quite strong. Mikey and SPW, two very strong midfield runners. So there's definitely some high powered teams, and then we've got the likes of Brox and Gentex. I don't think there's not a team that stands there and I think, oh, they could be in struggle in terms of mounting a charge forward for constructors. Our point system for the season: first will take 40, second 35, third is 30, fourth 27, fifth 25, sixth 24, 7 23, 8 22, 9 21, 10 20, then 11 10, 12 9, 8 for 13, 7 for 14, 6 for 15, 5 for 16, 4 for 17, 3 for 18, 2 for 19th and 1 point for 20th. You'll get 1 point for pole, 2 points for the fastest lap, a point for both commentary driver of the day and the game driver of the day, and if you have no penalties throughout a race, you'll get 1 bonus point. And if you can, well, I'm not quite sure, it now says over the weekend. There is only 1 race now, so I assume it will just be there is 1 bonus point per week for no penalties now. I would assume, because we don't have a weekend anymore, it is only 1 race. So to Bahrain we go. Let me get a quick recap of the cops. Evening Adam, evening Fusion, evening Ethan, Mike, SPW, Pele. Good job. Mitch can translate for Chris. Good job.
What?
I mean, could be worse. I could support one of the most overrated old men in Formula 1. Oh, I went there.
No.
I can't say that because I quite like Fernando Alonso myself, so it doesn't work very well. So let's get some data up.
Yeah, let's see. Okay. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the new season, Chris. I think you are too.
Yes.
You did say so. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Gonna see some, as you said, some big hitters out here. So ready to make a 6, as the cricket will say. I don't know.
I will just agree that I will pretend to know anything about cricket, but I really know nothing. It's not a sport.
Okay.
For me, cricket is just a glorified version of the game Rounders.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no. Yes, okay. Well, anyway, these guys are going to be hitting the races, and it's going to be quite a ball.
So Jensen is going to be one of our first men to open a lap. I think we may have F. Lewis quite close behind, trying to steal a little toe on a fast lap. I could be wrong. I think it's actually Fusion trying to take the toe from Jensen as Jensen breaks into turn 1, keeps it neat. Very tricky corner to pick up throttle. We are always trying to break away. DRS open. Looks to be somewhere in 21s for the sector. Oh, not sector marker is round the corner a bit. I am an absolute bum sack. 27.5 for Jensen through Sector 1. So trying to find our other men. We've got Mike on track as well. He's a driver to watch. Definitely get pace to put himself in the mix. So Jensen got some traffic ahead as well here, Mitch, in our Red Bull and Racing Point. They guys should get out the way, but maybe not just as clear air as he would like. Full backside of the truck, it's actually the backside of the circuit. It's actually pretty busy. Jensen with a 103.8 for the first and second sector, and looking to set a good benchmark lap time. We'll flick through to another. We've got the Red Bull going to steal a toe from Jensen. Bosman does a 26.6 on the mediums. I never even realised. 24.8 for Jensen though on the soft compound tyre. We've got Mike round in the last corner as well. To the line he goes. He goes on a 125.5. 7/10 behind Jensen. See if we've got some more guys getting some laps. We've got Pelly on the back straight at Racing Point. Oh yeah, 27.3 for Matt G in the mediums. Pelly coming through the last couple of corners. I recently changed to no traction driver and found the reward for making the change. He goes P4 at 26 flat.
Boatman lost it.
Jalmy 27.9 and P8. No, never be sorry for an instant, Mitch. It's something I think everybody wants to hear. We F. Lewis and Mataman both chinking in. Oh, look at that. F. Lewis does a 27.408 and Mataman does a 27.409, and they were literally together on track. Brock goes in a 26.2 on the major compound tyre with Fontaine slotting in P4 and Tees, 25.3 for Tees and P2. So some changes ahead.
Sure.
So I don't think any driver will opt to start on the medium compound, Jensen. I could be wrong, but I just can't see it. Not the top 10. There's a big string of drivers there all in the back straight. Mere Fusion on a lap, but I think he's got a hell of a lot of traffic. And he's coming in. Yeah, Fusion comes in. So after the brunt of the first run, we have Jensen from Tees, Mike from Tiny, Pelly from Brock, Bossman from Gentex, Maggi from F. Lewis, Matman from SPW, Jalmy, and then Duffy, Mikey, Fusion, Jim Strav, Damiano, all still to get lap times on the board. So it's a tough one. I think Jensen and Brock, Bossman as well. We know Bossman's got really strong qualifying pace. I think Jensen and Brock probably walk into most qualifying sessions. I would say pretty close favourites. I think Jensen maybe just has the edge on that one lap performance. But if Brock's on fire, he's hard to beat. So Jensen's more consistent in getting the lap time, but if Brock's in a good window, yeah, he's a hard guy to stay on top of. So interesting dynamic. If Tees keeps himself up in the 3 as well, half a second gap at the moment, Jensen. So he looks really comfortable, doesn't he, at the moment, especially after the first run. I think he'll be sitting in the box after one run, half a second gap. Like, wow, even if I only find a 10th or 2, these guys behind me need to find over half a second in lap time to just get close to me. So
yeah, that's good, eh?
Yes. So guys, please, if you're watching and you haven't already, please like the stream and sub to the channel, of course, if you're not already subbed. It's a new and growing channel, so all the subs count.
Yes.
Yes, my cheat was a tad. The track was very busy. The back end of the circuit seemed to just gather all of the cars at the one time. So Gentex, a 10th down, he split as I go on board. That might not be entirely accurate. Sometimes when you jump on a car it says they're down in time, but they're really not, so...
Yeah.
So where is Officer Duffy? Oh, he's coming to the line. So where is Officer Duffy going to slot himself in his medium compound tyre? He goes into P13, 27.8. We're starting to see that very compressed midfield stack come up. 27.3, 27.4, 27.4, 27.7, 27.8, 27.9. That will stay consistent. You'll see some of the guys get right down into the low 27s and maybe the 26s, and the midfield is a hard fight here. I know it from personal experience, falling to the back and trying to get through these guys that are also closely matched in pace. It's not easy. Officer Duffy goes another 10th and a half up on his second bite of the cherry, so he's maybe got some lap time in the pocket and trying to extract it on his second lap round, Mitch.
Yeah, no. True. Okay, let's see. Did Jensen just...
I think he is on a lap. He's not went far. If he did go faster, it was only by a very little bit. Damiano just goes P2 there. Just I've missed that. He slips in there on a 25.2. Yeah. Jensen still holds 4/10 of a second gap in P1, but Damiano gets himself in. Officer Duffy going to get a little tow from Pelly, and he needs Pelly really to play ball here. Well, yeah, it's not too bad. He'll help him with a small distant tow to the line, although I'm not choosing to stay right in it, and he gets himself up to a 27.5 and jumps SPW. So Jensen is another 10th and a half up on his current lap. We have Mike ahead of Jensen this time on track on a fast lap, so we'll stay with... Oh wait, could this be F. Lewis on a fast one? I think F. Lewis is maybe a lead driver, and he's 1.4 seconds up, so F. Lewis looking to maybe even put himself into the 25s here. So this will be one to watch. This will be a huge improvement if he maintains the gain through the last corner of the circuit. It's essentially two corners, but it's only one. It's one corner for these cars nowadays. And he does a 25.5, 1.8 second gain and puts himself P6. Very, very good lap from F. Lewis. Mike now goes P2, 25.1, slots in behind. He finds 4/10 of a second.
Well done,
Jensen done a 24.7, so he found a 10th and a half. That 10th and a half we've seen him with when we jump on board. He did find it. The gap not quite half a second now though to P2, but still Jensen very much in the driving seat. So Mad G got himself up the grid as well, and as I said, Mitch, sorry, we can see the medium tyre starting to disappear on the grid. I didn't think anybody would try it.
That, Yeah, no, you can see that. What, only 4 cars are running it, so...
So Damiano, is he up? He is. Trying to see by the track. Boschman on a 24.9, I didn't even realise, 1.6 second gain. Only 2/10 now between Jensen and P2. Excuse my cough.
Ah, yes.
Damiano, I think he is one of our lead drivers in a fast lap at the moment. There's a couple of guys coming through the last corner, Racing Point. I'll wait to see if that gains. I think that was JN Tex, no gain there. McLaren comes in. It's Officer Duffy. Is he just going to complete another lap? No, that's Matoman just starting a lap. So let's go back to Damiano. Oh, and he has dropped the car, so that is not going to be any time gain time, not in a fast one at the moment. So I think most guys are on in laps or out laps as it stands.
Not a bad turnout, 18 drivers in this new era. So
yes, let's hope they can stay consistent on that.
Yeah, I think it will.
So yeah, and that's it's one of the hardest things league running and trying to put this kind of content out for drivers to be part of and get enjoyment out of, keeping the numbers up. So guys, obviously as drivers, need to bear in mind when they say, yeah, I'm going to race, people don't understand the time and work it takes from an owner's perspective or a runner's perspective. It takes, we do take time from personal life to ensure that things are in place for the weekend and everybody's as happy as can be. So when people say they can be there for a certain day and then they don't turn up, it makes life very difficult.
Yeah.
Brock went P2, 24.742, now 60 hundredths of a second between the two drivers.
Ooh.
Very, very close.
I got some goosebumps. My hair standing up on my arms, you know.
I think we are set for a good one.
Yeah, no, we are. Eh? Like, what's it from about Lewis? You got like under a second.
Yes.
From 8th. Wow, this is really good.
And then if you look at from Lewis downwards as well, it's very compressed.
Yeah, it is, eh? It is. Kinda goes away a little bit from Officer Doofy. He's in his other little league type of thing, but I don't know if he's.
I think we will see that improve though, because I think that's a medium compound tyre run, so
of course, yes.
Gain. Oh, and I've just went on board with Matoman as he drops the car, and I think he's touched the curb at the infamous corner. Wing off. He will just have time because of where he is in the circuit. I think he'll be okay, Mitch, to get in. If he's got another fresh set of tyres, he could get in, bolt a new set of tyres on and get back out and still get that run in. So maybe not. If you're going to crash the car and lose wing, like one corner before the pit or two corners is probably the ideal place to do it. So some quiet on the track until, who is our lead outlap driver? It is a Haas. Oh, Jalmate on a lap, 3/10 up. So Jalmate, DRS open to the line, can he get himself up? He gains a couple of tens, 27.6. Now puts SPW right at the bottom. Pressure on, Stephen. A lap needed right in that P11 slot would probably, I think you'll be happy if you can get yourself right in that position. That's maybe possibly where SPW is looking for. So we have some drivers on fast laps and some drivers on out laps, so I'm going to do my best between us, Mitch, and we'll try and keep on top of this, but it's going to be hard. So I'm trying to find a lead hot lap runner. Fusion's backed out. I think so. I think it might be F. Lewis. Oh, and he's dropped the car, F. Lewis. Oh, and it's a big hit. Oh, he does well, no damage. I think he was very lucky there to hit wheel side on in the manner that he did. But that will be his session over and him staying at 25.5. Although, albeit F. Lewis, a very, very solid run on that soft compound tyre in your first run. So I think take a lot of grace out the fact that you got the good lap in earlier. I know you feel you probably get more in the pocket, but still, Mikey, one of our next guys to come round to finish his lap. He is up. Can he maintain the time gain to the line, drop himself down the leaderboard a bit? He does, but he only gains just under a tenth. In fact, he matches again. Him and Matoman both on 25.907s. Time's been matched everywhere. So let's see who we have. We've had Bossman retire. He's not going to go for another run. We've got Mad G half a second up. So Matt G could... Oh, what happened?
Mike.
Oh, he's dropped the car.
I think he spun or something before, yeah.
Oh, and the SPW went P6, Jensen. 25-3. I've completely missed that there, and he's went from Stone Dead Last all the way to P6. So very, very good lap from Stephen there.
Yeah,
so Jensen and Brock, look at Jensen coming to the line. Sorry to jump in on you there, but he does a 27-4 pressure on Brock. 3/10 to find. Brock, I think, is a little down on his lap time, so Jensen looks... And remember, this is Jensen's bogey track. Bahrain is a circuit that we know Jensen from races tending to go against him, so maybe it's the turn of a page. Brock up the hill into the last couple of corners, and he's a 10th down. I don't think he's got it in the car to get. I don't think he's going to get close enough. I think Jensen's going to take, and that's a good scalp, a good couple of 10th gap in the first session, the first race. I don't think he is going to gain, Michael, and I think Jensen's going to take the first pole of the season, and he does. So Jensen will stay on pole. We know Mike had that spin. Do we have any... Oh, Tees to the line. Tees gets himself to P5. Do we have any other Pellies off a lap? I don't think we have Matoman. He is down on his time. Officer Duffy. Last corner. No, he's not on ERS. Officer Duffy is finished as well. So that'll be the grid. We have Jensen from Brock. Boastman 3rd, Mike 4th, Tees 5th. Damiano 6, SPW 7th, Pelly 8th, Mad G 9, and Tyne rounding out the top 10. F. Lewis and Mikey, P11 and 12, Matt and JNTEX 13 and 14, Doofy and Fusion 15 and 16, and Jalmy and Jimstraff. The two Haas boys taking up the last row of the grid in P7 and 18.
Okay, no, cool. I think it will be a 5-minute break, of course.
Oh, that's a good question. I assume so.
Okay.
I do think so.
Guys, don't ready up until Mike or Jensen.
Yes, I'm going to grab a laboratory break very quickly, Mitch. 1 second.
Okay, cool, man. Okay, so not bad from the drivers. Well done to Jensen, Brock and Boastman and Mike. Yeah, not bad. Good turnout, as usual. And Magi, where did you come 9th, eh? Okay, not bad. Still a long race, so anything can happen for everyone.
I am vexed, so.
Okay, awesome, man.
Oh, no, I do not want to leave the session, that is for sure. So well done, Maggie, on your fastest lap.
Yeah, nice.
At Bahrain, it's not an easy track to extract a good lap time either, so take a lot of confidence going forward in the race. And I just wonder, Mitch, should we go for a sneaky prediction?
I want to say a prediction, but yeah, I don't want to.
Go, let's hear it, Mitch. Let's hear it.
Okay, I will hide my first prediction, and yeah, I will just keep it quiet, but I think Jensen for my second prediction.
Jensen to win?
Yeah.
Who was your first?
So.
Oh.
Ooh, must I say it?
Was it the little Irishman?
Yes.
Oh, Mike, you were pipped until you had that crash. See that, Mike? Mitch had you chosen until you blew it in qualifying. All these hopes.
No.
You just took them in the palm of your hand and squished them.
No. Yo,
terrible.
Chris.
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing.
I know. No. it's quite good for Mr. Mike.
So I'm going to take a punt, and I'm going to say that a man that's maybe had a run of not being able to string a race win together, but definitely has deserved to win a race. I'm going to take a punt on Bossman for the race victory. If he can stay away from penalties, he's a driver that deserves a victory.
Yeah,
if
no,
more than
he
anything.
does.
So I'm going to take a punt, and my prediction is Bossman for the win.
Yeah. Okay. No, cool. Yeah. And hopefully for Pelly.
Yes.
With no traction, because he never. I don't know. Yeah, in the previous league. Yeah. He didn't win anything, eh?
No, and I think it's hard when you race with some guys that are extremely fast. You know, Bossman, Jensen, Brock. It's really hard. I totally understand how it's hard to keep yourself motivated to try and race against these guys, because you get to a point where you're like, there's just nothing I can do to beat them. They're too fast. But Pelly took some time. He took a step back and kind of re-evaluated what changes he could make as a driver, and I think that's the thing you've always got to do first. If you run totally no assists and you're still not unable to close a gap, then maybe, just maybe, it's something to boils down to talent and skill, because there is a lot of skill involved in being able to drive a car quickly, albeit in a game, you know.
Yeah, no.
So I think Pelly went at it the right way. You know, he took a step back and said, like, what do I need to change to make myself want to fight this again? And I'm glad he found pace.
Yeah,
not
no.
Mike. Ouch. Nah, probably not, Adam. You're probably correct though.
What?
What's
this?
Adam's just I think he was saying
Adam?
not Mike in the chat to my statements.
Let's see
and it looks like we're getting our break, so SBW will have no aneurysm, and there will be very intact gaskets going into turn 1, which is always a bonus. Guys, if you haven't already as well, please, 9 people watching, only 3 likes, like the video. If you haven't already, sub to the channel. It means a lot, especially a new growing channel. The more interaction you get early, the better for the sake of the channel, the more chance you get of getting it pushed out to people that watch similar kind of videos, and the more chance you as drivers get that bit more exposure, you know. So that's never a bad thing. Remember, the stream promotes the drivers. Without the drivers, it is nothing. Yes, Maggie, do it, and do it now. Thank you. We do appreciate it. Pelly's not feeling great today, but let's get a good finish. Yes, Pelly, we have, me and Mitch were just saying that there. We're hoping that you get a good result. Maybe not the best result, but just as long as you can get a result that you're happy with. I think that's important as well as a driver. Be quite realistic in your sights. It was a problem I had, especially as a younger sim racer. You have an attitude, the young Max Verstappen attitude, you know, you just win, and nothing else matters. But some races you go into, you've got to understand that you just can't win. So be realistic on where you want to try and get to feel good about your race result. And if you set realistic targets, you'll always come away from a race feeling reasonably good if you reach the targets. But if you're somebody like, if you go to move to real life and you were somebody like Lewis Hamilton, I don't really know what targets you set when you're that good, you know. Or the car's that good, whatever side of the debate you stand on. I like to be impartial when I'm talking about it, so I'll fling both sides of the coin out there for everybody. I'm aiming P20. Good sights, Adam. Good. See, this is the attitude I mean. It's goals like this, and we have We have ticks. For some reason I was seeing no ticks on the board. It was all spinning circles and then straight to, straight to everything moving. So gap to, let's just have an interval. Let's have position changes, or let's have a look at our bottom 10. So F. Lewis in P11, he's choosing to start on the soft, so that's interesting. Mikey and Matoman both for the mediums. JN Tex on the hards, Officer Duffy on the mediums, Fusion for the hards, and Jalmate and Jim Straff on the mediums. Obviously our top 10 all in the tire they set in qualifying, so they're all in a fast lap run soft tire. And now I will go back to position change, get rid of that silly menu off the side of the screen. Good luck, of course, to every driver. We do not want to see too many incidents.
Yes.
Bahrain's not the easiest track for racing, but you can definitely have some good side-by-side action, so let's hope.
No, you can, eh?
Let's hope for some fun.
Okay, let's do this. Just do it.
And if we look as well, gents, Mike, at the top 10, we only have one team or two teams with two drivers in the top 10, so it's quite evenly split out, you know.
Yeah, no, it is.
By the looking of that qualifying session, we're actually set for a really good, strong constructors fight this season across what looks like all of the teams. SPW and Damiano disqualified from the session, luckily close to the last corner. That's not disqualified from the race, that's just the form lap. They will get the chance to start the race, obviously just penalising the sense of their tyres are cooling a bit earlier than everybody's.
Well, if it's the first warm-up lap, then you can say, oh, then you're stuffed, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah. Okay, I will keep an eye on Pelly, Manji around there and below. Cool. And
for sure.
For sure. Oh, those were the days, man.
So, for WRL, Season 1, Round 1, Bahrain, we will have lights come on. Whenever the game wishes to show me anything, it's shown me nothing. Please don't show me lights, game. Please. Oh no. Have we had a break already?
I think it was.
Oh, and here we go. So 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. The drivers will be angry with that delay. But it's lights out and away we go, and it seems to be a better start from Brock in the Ferrari alongside Bosman. We'll have a look. Jensen spins a little. I think Brock in his second phase struggles, so he's going to be under pressure from Bosman as they go into turn 1. Bosman's going to try and go round the outside. Brock holds the inside line. We've got Tees alongside Damiano. Pelly struggling alongside Mike. I think Mike gets the better of Pelly. Damiano squeezed out wide, but Jensen breaks off. Bosman into P2, Brock down to P3. Ties 4, Damiano 5, Mike P6, Pelly 7, Maggi 8, SPW 9, 10 rounds out the top 10, so the guys all file into a row pretty evenly. Everybody's filing through in reasonable manners, and the guys will now settle down into what will be the first phase of this race. So a reasonable start from most guys up front. Mitch, I don't know how it looked to you further back down the field.
Yeah, okay, some bumping, but yeah, no, I'm sure they will clip it and all that stuff, report it, if it is. But, yeah, bit of clashing.
So look at this, my pick for the race showing early pace very quickly. Mitch Bosman all over the back of Jensen. Jensen being very laboursome in the ERS deploy, which is understandable. He'll use just a little 10% there to break a little bit of a gap between him and Bosman, but Bosman just needs to stay here. The DRS in the main straight is very powerful as long as you're not in a huge train, so that'll be one to watch. But look at the gaps all the way through, 3 tenths, 2 tenths. We've got Tyne all over the back of Maggi. He's going to pull to the inside line. That's going to be an easy move. Maggi, I think, struggling in a straight line. Oh, and I think we've got the little
glitch
silliness on the timing screen, so we'll need to wait till they come round. But as it stands, we've got Jensen from Bosman, from Brock, Damiano 4, Mike 5, Pelly 6, SPW 7, Tyne 8, Maggi 9, Jalmay P10. Is that right? Is Jeremy in P10? No, so here we go. So we will catch back up with that, guys. We just need everybody to go through sector splits and the game will re-catch back up with itself. So I think that's us now sorted. So the actual official running order from P10 below is F Lewis 10, Maggi 11, Mikey 12, Doofus 13, Jimstaff and Jeremy fighting over 14, 15, JNTech 16, Fusion 17, Matoman P18. Our biggest gainers from the lap 1, just the guys at the back. It's been quite a reasonable start between most drivers, only one position or two positions gained or lost across the full field, Mitch.
Yeah, no, it is, eh?
So DRS enabled this lap, is that right? Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, it will be.
Jensen looks like he's tried to break a bit of that gap between him and Bosman. But Bosman does have the DRS. And Brock doesn't. So Brock is in the danger zone. Bosman not running DRS on my screen for some reason. I hope that's a visual glitch and he's not just missed turning it on. DRS open this time, so I think that was maybe just a visual glitch for me there, Jensen. Yes. So where, sorry, Mitch. I am absolutely terrible with names this evening.
No,
so F Lewis.
It's okay, well.
F Lewis
been a while, eh?
Yes, it very much has, Mitch, since we have done this. We will get back into the swing of it in no time. Fusion, our first driver of the race, to pick up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings on track limits. So everybody gained or lost in the race apart from Mikey and Jensen in our first 3 laps of racing. The gap's all starting to plateau a little. I think Brock is in I think Brock's in a tricky situation at the moment because I think he's trying to maintain some ERS. But he's losing the DRS, and once you lose DRS from the train, that train becomes, even if it's only 2 cars, it becomes very, very, very hard to catch. I'll watch for some moves further back. We've got Jim Straff and Officer Doofy having a go here. Jim Straff, DRS open. Overtake button deployed. Officer Doofy has DRS too, so it's not going to be a simple move. He'll need to absolutely send this if he wants it. He's thinking about it, but not quite there. Officer Doofy goes a little deep. Jim Straff's going to take the wider lane, go for the cutback.
F Lewis.
Full course safety car. Full course safety car, Mitch. So safety car out. Did F Lewis just drop the car? Did he drop the car or have a crash?
I don't know. I think he dropped the car. Yeah. But
so I think in regards to strategy now, we're going to see anybody in a medium and hard's probably not going to pit, but every soft running driver, I think we could see them all bolt the hard tyre on, Mitch.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Does the hard tyre go to the end? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. 25 laps. It's probably about 22 race laps, 23, because the safety car's not going to be out for long. The field is still pretty compressed. So I think we're only going to do 2 laps maximum under safety car conditions, depending on how much people drop off as they go into the bit. So Jensen will come in, Bosman in too. Brock in, T's boxes, yep, T's coming in. So I think we're going to see the full of at least the top 10 filter into the pits, which we do. So Mikey is going to be our man to take control on the race restart. He will slot up to P1 with Jim Straff not far behind, and this is what comes interesting. And I think Bosman's jumped Jensen. He has, Mitch. Bosman has jumped Jensen in the pits. He's got that move done in the pit lane, so Bosman now doesn't need to worry about Jensen on track. He has the lead position In regards to cars that have boxed for new tyres, Boastman is net P1 of the race so far.
Sure.
Interesting to see how he's managed to get that jump. I wonder if Jensen's been held because of the traffic coming through. Otherwise, he would have just been an unsafe release, so they couldn't let him go.
Yeah.
But Jensen just needs to stay calm there though and accept, like, sometimes it happens. He had an ERS advantage on Boastman early in the stint, so that means he has lap time in the pocket. So he can use that to his advantage. He just needs to stay calm, let Boastman do the hard work of getting through the traffic. He can then follow through and deal with Boastman when it's just him and Boastman. That's what I would do. I would let the driver in front just do the hard work getting through the traffic and do my best to stay with him going through them. But we will literally do we will do one more lap of safety car and then I think it will come in. It will. So how long has Mikey and that been on their tyres? So they're only 4 laps old, of course. So Fusion here sits in a really good position on the hard. If he can stay with the medium guys, he can really extend that hard compound now all the way to a nice, strong, soft run at the end of the race. And really get the move on him, mate. We have Ginstrap jumping in the pits from P5. Wait, what? Whoa. That was not showing him in the box. That was scary.
Yeah.
So bearing in mind, chat, and anybody watching, Mikey, Matoman, Jalmy, Fusion all have to pit. Boastman is net P1. He was P2 in the race pre-pit stop. Jumped Jensen in the pit lane and got himself out in the net P1 position for the race on the fresh. And I was wrong actually, Mitch. I said that the most guys in that from the softs would go to the hards, but actually the majority of the soft runners have went to the medium compound. So I wonder if that's been a chain reaction. You know, some guys at the front maybe have chose medium and guys further back have went to go hards, but seen they've went medium and went, nah, I'm just going to copy the strat and try and race the pack.
Yeah, no, true.
But I think safety car will win this lap. Lights will go off just as we go up the hill. Mikey will then become the de facto safety car. He becomes the pace setter. Nothing too slow, nothing too dangerous, but do as much as he can to get the biggest advantage on the safety car restart. He possibly, you know, he needs to get a jump. So safety car in, lights off at the top of the hill, just like I said. So Mikey is this pace setter. He's going to slow the field right up. It's on him now. You see the pack become very compressed. It's about not touching another driver. The game's very sensitive to penalties, so you want to try and stay away, work your tyres, and just be prepared to catch the reaction. You've got to get on the pedal with the as soon as the guy in front of you goes. Mikey goes now. Matoman reacted very well to that, but he's turned in and he's got cool tyres. So Jalmy struggled out the last corner as well. So is Fusion. That's going to allow Boastman and Jensen. So here, fight on all the way from the start. I'm going to stay with this because we've got Boastman, Jensen and Brock all scrapping. Brock in the toe of Jensen. He pulls to the inside line and he's going to go for it. Jensen's going to say nope, and on Jensen's going to get squeezed on the inside. Brock's going to turn round there, and I think that's just unfortunate circumstances. I'm not too sure. I only seen it from one angle. It looked like a bit like a racing incident there. 3 into 1. Jensen had nowhere to go, but I could be wrong. But that is not going to help Brock's cause at all. He drops all the way to P15. Don't know if you can check up on the car, Mitch, and see if you can spot any damage.
Let's have a look.
We've got Fusion and Tyne, some wheel banging. We've got Oh, and Mike's in a sandwich between cars. Oh, and Pelly spun him round.
Oh no!
That was unfortunate there. And Mike gets a 5-second time penalty for corner cut, and I think that will be one to be removed. That was not his fault.
Yeah, Brock is fine. I think maybe a bit of orange wing.
I think Jalmy has dropped the car. Oh. Yes, he has. He has no wing left. He's got to be really careful here. VSC out. So that neutralised the pace. That was probably the safest thing that could have happened there for the guys round about. VSC out. Mikey still leads the race. Got a nice 1.3 second gap to Mataman, so Mikey controlled the restart exactly how he had to. Ensured that he built a gap, and just it's about holding the gap until his pit stop comes for him now. But Jensen already into P3. We've seen Fusion and the other Haasboy, I think it was Jamie, all have the moments out the first corner, and it's like I said, if you're not reacting or you overreact, you're done for. You will get absolutely pounced on the opening lap of the safety car restart, and that's just what happens. So we go green once again. Mataman, Mikey and Mataman take over back at the front. I think Mataman seemed to have a better start. It was a 1.4 second gap. We've went to a green flag, and Mataman is now 3/10 behind, so that's quite interesting to see what's happening there, and maybe one to say to speak about after the race. Jensen seems to have got a good restart. Bosman under pressure from Time's made some good gains now. Let's see positions gained now after safety car. So look at that, we have Mikey and Mataman both up 11. Tyne out 5, Pelly gained a couple.
Come on, Mike. Oh, yes, baby. Yes, Mike did 2 McLarens. Sorry.
No, you carry on, Mitch. Mitch, I jump on board to try and catch the action as you started to say it. We've got JNTX here thinking about going Mad G, but he knows maybe that's just not the corner. Get the better run through the last turn and just have a go up the main straight. We've got Damiano and Tease having a good old battle. Tease makes the big defending movement. He's got good straight line speed in the car, so hard guy to catch on the main straight. JNTX and Mad G side by side through the last corner. No contact there. Oh, they do well. Good driving between the two. JNTX now needs to defend from Officer Duffy. His DRS wide open. Thinks about having a go. Not quite there this time around. So let's go back up. We've got Bosman 1.1 behind Jensen, but Jensen now hits the cork in the bottle. Bosman could allow Jensen to run away a bit because he was always going to catch this traffic. How quickly can Jensen clear the traffic? That's hard to say. Matoman and Mikey, Mitch, they both have every right to defend their position. This is track position, so they have a right to get the elbows out. That's it, exactly right. So let's see if they make Jensen work for this, or it's just going to be quite an easy move.
Definitely tire.
So Jensen will get the aid of DRS. Mataman will also have DRS though. 20% else Jensen, here he comes. Tucks into the top. And I don't think Mataman's going to have an answer. It's going to be a nice easy pass down the inside on the main, yeah, it is the main DRS zone of the circuit. He's going to maintain that inside line. Mataman tries to switch by, but just Jensen with much superior grip. Much better job of getting the traction out through 1, through 2. And actually makes a good gain on Mikey just through that next DRS zone as well. So Bosman maybe just a little further away than he would like, but still in a very good position.
Yeah. Yes.
The main thing is staying away from penalties. Only 2 drivers thus far. We've had Mike make a move and Officer Duffy there.
Come on, Jensen. Round the outside on Mikey. Has he got it? Yeah, he's got it. Jensen's got the lead of the race.
So onwards he now goes. So Bossman's job is to clear this bit of traffic as quickly as he can. Jensen has well, he's not got as much ERS as he'd probably like, but he can spend a lap or two maybe just charging now while Bossman, but Bossman, look at the traction difference for the last corner, and I think Mataman's going to be a sitting duck here. He does his best to defend, but oh, he is, he's good straight line speed in the curve. Here comes Bossman on the brakes, small inside lock up, does well to keep the gap. Mataman, he done his best. There is a tricky corner in traction, and he tried to leave space for Bossman to allow them to go racing. But good fair battling between the two there. Good fair battling. So Jensen breaks out 1 second gap to Mikey's. Bossman 2.2 behind Jensen. So, yep, 2.2. So that is the gap to the leader. Tyne now trying to get through the traffic. So Mataman and Mikey just making this race a little more spicy than it would have been by staying in or staying out when the safety car came out.
Yeah, no.
Brock all over the back of SPW, but not quite close enough. And this is what we're saying, when you get in a train of drivers, it's very, very hard to get overtakes done sometimes.
Yeah, no, it is.
So Brock on SPW, I think this is going to be the time. SPW is not going to fight it too much. His focus is there. Time goes through on Mataman now. Oh, Mataman went a bit deep in the brakes. He done very, very well there not to collect the back. Bossman now and Mikey, DRS open. I think this is going to be an easy pass here. He will pull to the inside line. We'll watch him go through, round the outside. Mikey's going to try and hold it, but Bossman gets the power down, and that is a horrible, horrible penalty the games gave him there. Bossman literally got a penalty for leaving space.
Oh, what?
That is, yeah, it's interesting.
Okay.
So where is the gap? Damiano and Pelly and Matt. We got a bit of a scrap opening up here now. So this front part of the race has been quite entertaining for the first third of the race. On Pelly round outside of Mataman. Mataman tries to stay in the inside line. He clips that curb and it nearly spins the car round, and Damiano follows him round on the outside line. Mataman losing 2 positions in 1 corner, but very, very impressive car control from Mataman there not to end up with the car in the wall, and he's doing a good job. He's fighting as much and as respectfully as he possibly can as Brock now pulls out, and Mataman will drop down to P8, but he's got a nice comfortable gap now to SPW. You'll get Pelly, Damiano, Brock, Mataman going right deep on the brakes. He'll take the inside line. Brock needs to be on. Mataman just gets out it there. He is very aware of exactly what was about to happen there and just thought, it's probably not the fight. Pelly absolutely sends it round outside the Damiano. Sure. Not quite getting the job done that time, but good effort. So is Tyne going to try something? It's not the corner, especially if you're a non-ABS runner. But I think he can definitely get a run here, and that is exactly what's going to happen here. He's even going to be able to keep the race in line. Oh, and Mikey's going to hold on the inside. Good racing between the two. Close but fair. Tyne goes through now, P3. So Pelly and Brock. Pelly struggling a little on the ERS deployment. Probably needs to be charging a bit, but I think he'll be enjoying his race in P6. I think he'll be very happy just to be fighting up with these names as one person box. I think that could be Mikey in the pits for his first stop of the race. And here comes Brock on Pelly to get himself back to P5. He's going to try and go down the inside, and he gets the job done. Pelly accepts it and carries on P6. Brock now with the DRS and Damiano. I don't think he'll get close enough to get the job done on that zone, not quite. SPW now only 3/10 behind Matoman, so interesting stuff ahead. And I think SPW was one of their guys to pit, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. So, Brock and Damiano, I think, is going to end up being our next kind of main overtake in the race. But look at the gaps. A lot of people in the pockets. You know, there's good little races going on throughout the circuit. Got a nice pocket. Look at this battle between Mad G, Duffy, Lewis, Jim Straff. They're all in a right tight pack. Here comes F. Lewis on Officer Duffy, pulls to the inside line. Officer Duffy's going to try and defend it. Down the inside he goes. Officer Duffy says, you know what, I'm going to stay on the outside line, you're going to have to fight it. Gets a good drive, and he actually gets a better drive than F. Lewis. DRS open, and he has the benefit of the toe from Majiba. Oh, and who's that? Who is that on the outside? Is it Jim Straff? Jim Straff has just sent the two of them. Oh, and big contact between Jim Straff and Mad G. Oh, and F. Lewis nearly turned out. That's going to allow Officer Duffy to now go through. Whoa, what was going on there? A big send down the inside from Jim Straff. Somebody cooked the brakes a little. Jim Straff's still going to try and send it round the inside. He's got wing damage, he needs to be careful. Officer Duffy needs to be careful behind as well, and this Haas does have wing damage. He's going to be very understeady. He's going to send it down the inside, some serious connection issues there. Officer Duffy's going to send it up the outside, and he will get that done. He's now into a red X, so interesting stuff there. Officer Duffy gains on that position, and now needs to chase Mad G. SPW has got through in Matoman. He is now chasing Pelly. We still get that battle between Brock and Damiano. It's a very, very close one. Brock looks set to maybe get the job done this time round though. So here he comes, DRS open. Damiano got very good straight line speed in the car. Hits a little burst overtake, going to try and go on the outside. He blocks the line there. He was very, very smart defensive driving there from Damiano. Squeezed Brock just onto the curb to make his braking zone that little bit harder. Gives him a small inside lock-up and gives Damiano the advantage coming out of the corner. Probably absolutely on the limit of defence, but I think very fair. Officer Duffy and F. Lewis ding-donging further back. They are having a good scrap here, these guys further back in the field. F. Lewis goes through. Officer Duffy's going to get the cut back. He's going to be on the inside line, but F. Lewis maintains the position. Let's go back to Damiano and Brock. Brock never going to done into turn 1 as we've seen, and not quite there this time round. Fusion gets a 5-second time penalty for corner cutting. That's a huge penalty. That must have been a big cut. So a little talk on our race leader. We've not really spoke about much. Jensen is in the Jensen place, isn't he, Mitch?
Yeah,
he is very much in Jensen land.
In Jensen land, yeah.
Bossman is there, and Jensen will be aware of that. But I think he's quite comfortable. Bossman doing a very good solid drive. I think he's only picked up that one penalty. Looks set, albeit still 12 laps to go. Looks set for a solid podium, minimal. And Brock has now got that job done in Damiano, but Damiano's going to get the run back on the inside line. Hard one for Brock to defend, get done, and Damiano still retains the position. I'm going to stay on that fight for now, Mitch. I really need the restroom again.
Okay.
Apologies.
Okay, cool. Okay. So Jensen is pulling away good. Then you got Boseman within time. Okay. Let's see. Maggie and this.
I am back, sir.
Okay, awesome, man.
So the battle between Brock and Damiano rages on, although Brock seems to have a much better run this time. Oh, and he's going to do the double, go for the inside line this time. Absolutely drain the ERS until empty. Damiano comes for the cutback. Brock's going to have to. Good position of his car there. He was aware of what Damiano was about to try and just didn't let it, but Damiano's going to come back in the DRS. He goes to the racing line. And Brock's going to try and defend the inside. Damiano with a small inside lock-up, small bit of wheel banging there. Oh, and there's contact. And both cars are round. And that opens the door. SPW now puts himself up into P3 in the race. T's P4, Mike P5. And Brock and Damiano there. I'm unsure of exactly what happened.
How did that, like... Okay. We would have to...
I think it was just, so I think they were trying, and I think what's happened is because of the style of corner, I think wheels get locked up. The front right and back left kind of got tangled, and I don't think any one driver tried to do anything there, I think.
Okay.
For me, that looked just a bit of a racing incident.
Keep it on track, which he is. Yes, good save from there. It was oversteer.
So Boseman in, Boseman boxes. That is an interesting one. 10 laps to go. Is Boseman trying an undercut in the softs here? Interesting stuff ahead. And he does, he goes to the softs, so Boseman to the softs. Why is he being held in the pits? Oh, that's just a delay on my game's behalf. So let's watch Boseman. Is he going to get out into some nice clean air here? I think he could. And he is. He's going to get into a serious amount of clean air here, Mitch. So, pressure on. We need to, if you watch, we've got T's and SPW. T's absolutely sends up the inside. Somehow he still gets that car stopped and gets that move done. Wow! And a cloud full of wheel lock as well. So, Boseman, let's see where he is. He is in that little pocket on his own. Catching the guys, let's see the gap to leader, 23 seconds. Pit stop here, I think is about 22. So it is going to be very, very close. Let's go on board with Jensen as he rounds the final corner. Will he come in this lap? Is he happy with his medium compound tyre? He's going to stay out. So interesting stuff ahead. Boseman not happy with the medium tyre that he was on. He's choose to stay with it. And do you think Jensen goes to the end on these mediums?
Oh, I think he can.
Wow. Remember, safety car was out lap 4. He's already done 16 laps on these medium tyres. That is huge.
Yeah. You can put that off from sure.
Interesting stuff ahead, I think, Mitch. We're going to have a very good ending to this race as people filter through further back. Damiano and Brock still continuing that battle. Somehow Damiano's get back in front of Brock. Damiano's on, is that a new soft tyre? Yep, and Brock's on a new medium tyre. So Brock maybe no new softs to get him to the end, or just not happy going on to the softs for such a long stint. So Bossman, let's check the gap to the leader. He's 21 seconds behind, so I think he is net race leader if the three guys in front need to pit. Let's go on board with Jensen. Is he going to box this lap? He doesn't, he's staying out again. So at this rate, if Bossman's only taking a second a lap out of Jensen, it's not enough. 8 to go, he would only get within 12 seconds. But then the question is, Jensen's lap tyres, will they die out? I would be impressed if he makes that continue. Mike now in P3 has a time penalty, of course. Tees doesn't. Tees looks to have a very good. Tees looks set to have a very strong race. Officer Duffy now up 8 on his hard compound. I think he could probably be going to the end here as well.
Yeah.
So it's been an eventful race, that's for sure, and I've enjoyed it. Mitch, I don't know about you, but there's never been long pockets in the race where there's really been nothing major happening. You know, we've always had some form of action as SPW and Mattelman start to battle it out once again.
Yeah.
So Bossman now 4/10 away from Mike and Tees. On that soft compound tire, he has a huge advantage in regards to grip. I don't think this will be one worth fighting huge for Mike and Tees, but as we said earlier, they very much have the right to fight because it's for track position. So Jensen does pit. So Bossman is about to get a huge jump.
I think Mark's going in as well. Yeah.
Now, Jensen is leaving the pits. Bossman's going to have a nice gap here. Tees though, Tees could be the problem here. Can you go into the pause menu, Mitch, and see if Bossman still just has the one penalty here? And Bossman goes through and Tees, he's through. Bossman now P1, Jensen 4.6 behind. If Bossman only has that one penalty, Jensen needs to push.
So Bossman's got one penalty and 2 warnings.
So he's 1 warning away from a second penalty.
Oh wait, no, it's actually 1 warning, just 1 warning. So
1 penalty with 1 warning.
Yeah, so what's that? 2 more warnings to go. Yeah.
Yes. Yellow flag sector 2. We've got Mikey spun. Don't think that'll be a safety car. I think that's just a spin moment. Mikey has pulled the car round. So Officer Duffy now in P6, but been absolutely swamped by SPW and Mattelman. I think he's going to be the man in the middle here, but Mattelman's going to take the inside line. Officer Duffy just needs to stay with these guys. If he can stay right up the bum and take the DRS, he's on for some good positions gained this evening. And in fact, he's on to be one of the biggest gainers of our race.
Yeah.
So Jensen now right in the time pocket, I think. Let's see, gap to leader. No, 3.8 behind Bossman. So Bossman, could he get this?
Yeah, let's see. What's it, Jensen will have that fresher tyres, eh?
Yeah, by a good couple of laps as well, but he's got to get through Tees. Now when he clears Tees, he will have DRS. But Tees, I think Tees is focusing on the long run here. He knows, I think, too much of a fight is maybe just not worth it.
Oh,
he's daring. Jensen's going to go in the inside line. Or the outside line. Oh, small contact there. Oh, I don't think there was anything in that. Jensen just needs to keep his head down.
Yeah, just keep your head down and you can do it.
So Bossman and Jensen now equal in ERS. It is very even. So now it comes down to driver skill. Can Jensen find that half a second? Bosman just needs to stay smooth, stay consistent, see it through these last 5 laps, and he will take the first win of the season. But we know Jensen is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, no.
When he means business, he means business. I think that Officer Duffy pit, yes he did, and recommences his battle with F. Lewis.
Yes.
Oh, and Officer Duffy gets a bullshit time penalty there. Excuse the French. 3.2 now the gap between Jensen and Bosman. Jensen just creeping inside.
Yeah, what, 5 laps to go, something like that. So.
And Matoman and SPW, they're having a fair old fight. SPW goes round the outside. Matoman, oh, he thought about sending it in the inside again, but not quite close enough to really solidify that move. And Damiano comes to join that battle too. Brock now dropped off Damiano a bit. Mataman nearly runs into the back of SPW. That's going to give Damiano the chance to get nice and close. DRS open. The use of the overtake button. He's going to pull to the inside line. Send it on the brakes. Mataman will hold the outside line, but just get a little more grip on the inside. But not quite there. Mataman drives well out the corner. Don't touch that curb, Mataman. Damiano's had to avoid. Hopefully he doesn't get a penalty for that. And there will be no safety car, I don't think. J Entex now will get through, and that curb, it is deadly. Jensen now 2.2 behind Bosman. Bosman 28% ERS, Jensen 5%. So, all to play for in these closing laps. Bosman just needs to stay away from penalty and utilise that ERS when he gets deeper into last lap or two, and he can maybe pull out that few tenths.
Okay, let's see. Driver of the day. I know it's 4 laps to go or something.
So, it's an interesting one today, that Mitch. The first quarter of the season is quite a hard one because there's a few drivers that have stood out. It's been a really healthy race.
It has.
I know there was a couple of incidents there, but it happens, you know, and the guys are settling. It's the first race of the season. The contact is honestly minute. So yeah. It's a tough call. Who particularly would stand out to you, Mitch? On Damiano's retired. Damiano's dropped the car.
No. Safety car.
No.
Safety car.
No way. Oh, that is screwed, Boastman. My pick for the win. Safety car out.
Yeah, safety car. Okay.
Oh, that is interesting stuff. So we're not going to get, it's going to be a 2-lap sprint to the end, so this is going to be explosive.
So those guys with fresher tyres, like Jensen and...
So the question is, to the pit, is it worth it? I don't know. Boastman's got a tough call to make here. I don't envy the decision, that's for sure. Rather them than me.
Postman is going to put.
Jensen is going to box too.
Jensen.
And they
Yeah.
Is Tyne going to go for the... No, he's going to box.
Yeah, he's going time.
So are any of these guys going to try it? Are they going to try and stay out? This is the thing. I think our top 4... I think our top 4 were pretty safe to pit. No, SPW is going to gain a couple. I think Mike may get a couple in the pits as well. Yep, he's going to jump Tyne and Tees. They will be on softer compound tyres, of course, and fresher compound of tyres, sorry. But they do get the jump, and SPW back into that P3 position. And when we talk about drivers of the day, Mitch, SPW is definitely a really good shout for that.
Yeah, no, he is.
Also, you could look. Mike had an instant earlier on, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he's got himself back into P4. And Tees has had a very solid race as well. But in regards to like standout performances, SPW is a driver I felt that every time I've looked at his name, I've been quite surprised about where he is on the list. And that, to me, would say that he's driving a damn good race. He's getting strategy calls well. Let's see how he finishes, though. We've got a couple of laps. You know, the choice to stay out could cost dearly. He's got Mike there to do him a favour. Safety car in this lap, so we will only have 2 laps of this. It's going to be explosive.
It's going to be, guys. Just keep it clean.
So, Bossman becomes the pace setter. Jensen staying behind. Tyre warming between the two. Let's see how quickly Jensen reacts to this. Bossman weaving away. Some guys now absolutely got the foot down at the further back of the pack that have pit. They've went, oh no, I do not want the pit to come in this early. Oh, and Bossman going on his way. So Bossman now leaves. He has left. Jensen gets a reasonable good jump. But here comes the thing now, we've got Mike on SPW, not choosing to use overtake there. He's going to try and go around the outside on the opening lap. SPW is going to cut that line off. He's got to be careful because he get driving in fresher tyres, making the move on the inside lines as Tees gets himself through now into P4. I don't think Mike is going to be able to do much to fight this, and he's going to be careful because Tyne's coming through in that inside line well. Again, these fresh compound tyres working really well for these guys early on. Bossman gets a 1.1 second lead towards Jensen. SPW still in that P3 slot, but I think that's about to come under serious pressure from these guys in the newer compound tyres. And Mike spun the car! That's not the time to drop the rear of the car. He's going to drop right to the back of the grid. Tees and Tyne now, so it's a battle between them. SPW on. Mike's retired. I think he's accepted that it's just not there. He will still get the points. P17, still some points on the board. Not quite the result he possibly would have wanted, but still a good showing in the closing stages of the lap. Bossman now 1.7 ahead. Still only get that penalty. If he finds that time through the last lap, he may get this race victory. Tees going for the outside run, and SPW will stay on board with Tyne as we see that small lock up between the two. SPW is at a small moment, that's going to give Tyne the run. Tees gets pushed wide, but he's going to get pushed through. SPW and Tees both pick up another time penalty. Unfortunate. Mike, you were running well, man. It's unfortunate, bro.
Yeah, you were.
Tees and Tyne now side by side. Tees is going to have the inside line up the run through too, but Tyne gets the better drive. He gets the overtake button deployed. Bossman now 1.6 ahead, and I don't think Tees has the move to make a go this time round. He's going to try and command the inside line, but Tyne just gets the better drive on the exit. We've got Brock slowly catching up to the back of this pack as well. SPW went from 3rd to 5th. Looking could be 6th, maybe even 7th, but he just needs to hold on for this lap. Bossman not quite got it in the tanks to get that 3-second gap to Jensen, but what he has got is the gap to secure P2, so I think that's a very good restart from Bossman to get himself securing, which I think he deserved a P1 or P2 shot. Unfortunate with the penalty because he definitely deserved to win there today. So we will go on board with Bosman as he rounds the second to last corner. Jensen 1.1 behind. He's not got enough in the tank to get the job done, but Bosman is going to take the checkered flag, and he will take the first win of the season, but will lose that win to Jensen on time penalties. But a very, very, very good drive from Bosman in the end. Jensen will take P1, Bosman 2. Tyne will secure P3. No, Bosman must have got another penalty. No.
Sure. Okay.
Bosman went to fours. Jensen from Tyne, from Tees, from Brock. GN Tech 6, Matoman 7, SPW 8, Jimstaff 9, Pelly 10, Maggi 11, Eflus 12, Mikey 13, Doofy 14, Fusion 15, and Jalmy will come home in P16. What a race, Mitch.
Yeah, what a race.
A race.
Yikes. Okay, so who's the top 3? Jameson. Are we going to do any interviews?
Yes, so let's get in for a chat. I don't know if Tyne and Tees do interviews, but I definitely know Jensen does.
Yeah. Must I invite, or you on it?
Yes, if you can.
Okay, sure.
So we'll get the guys in for a chat. We'll get a quick roundup of the race results as well. Jimstaff V gets the game driver of the day.
Okay, cool. Where did SPW finish?
I think he fell to P8 in the end.
P8. Okay.
So let's see if the guys come in for a chat. We will give them a little time. Sure. We know Jensen will always come for a chat. He always does. So Jensen from Tyne, Tees P3. Bossman, really, really unfortunate. He take the time penalties away. I think he drove very, very well today. Brock P5, GN Tech 6, Mataman 7. Good drive, good solid drive from SPW and P8. Time penalty maybe cost him a few positions. And then Jinstraff P9, Pelly rounding out P. The top 10, Maggi 11, Eflus 12, Mikey 13, Doofy 14, Fusion 15, Jalmy 16, and I think Mike will still be classified in P17 for the final standings. But a very good effort, very well done to Jensen. Tyne and Tees, unfortunate for Bosman. Brock and Damiano, I think Damiano obviously retired early. Brock, it was unfortunate. It was, yeah. From me, from the onboards, nothing looked too drastic or major, but obviously maybe from on board and in the driver's perspective there was more to it that I cannot comment on or judge, and I'm sure when people post their sides of it, it'll paint its own picture. Bottle chop is well and truly back. No, Mike, you tried something, and I think they just trying to stay on the tyres was a bold call, but you know you need to be so critical on exit because you've got the guys on the new tyres, and it is hard, and you took a risk, and hey, at least you've done it, and you still get thing made. But in the end, we're joined by P2 on the line, but race winner on the day, Jensen. Very well done. I think you can be reasonably happy with that performance. I think we can both fairly say I think Bossman probably deserves to win today, but time penalties are what they are, and you drove the car home. You ensured that once it came to the restarts, even if you were behind, you kept yourself in the gap you had to stay in. So yeah, I said about midstream, Jensen was doing Jensen things.
Yep.
So happy?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to go for fastest lap at the end there, but Bossman put a really, really good lap in, so it was difficult. But other than that, the race was good. I think there was an incident at turn 1 between me, Alfie, and Brock, where we all went up the inside of each other, I think.
Yes.
And yeah, I had to turn in, otherwise I'd be hitting out. It was sort of like a ginger bush incident in...
Yeah, we did actually catch it on stream. It was a very... Yeah, you were kind of the meat in the middle of the sandwich.
Yeah. Other than that, the race felt good. I pitted much later in Boastman because I knew he had a penalty, so I knew I'd be able to catch back up on the new softs, and it sort of like flattened out as soon as we got in the late 20s.
Yep.
But then the late safety car came out, and I had to make a call. I thought if I stayed out or go in, and I saw Boastman go in, so I followed in him, and lucky enough, everyone else came in behind, so it was the first safety car actually worked for me.
So do you know if Boastman picked up that second time penalty after that safety car restart? The last one. Because he only had one penalty, one warning.
He had 6 seconds
pre-safety car.
Yeah, pre-safety car.
Right. I wasn't sure.
Apparently, he got 3 warnings instead of 1. I mean, an incident with Mikey or something. So. Also,
maybe one to be looked at.
Might, yeah.
That's interesting. So maybe he'll be posting that. So P2 at least.
Yeah.
Which I think would be deserved.
Well, it'll only be 1 penalty removed.
Yeah, so you would only have 1. Yeah, you would keep the win, but Boastman would retain P2 at least. Yeah. But that's obviously on Boastman if he wants to report that. I'm sure he will, because he thoroughly deserved, and I think you're going to be the only guy to join us. Jensen, one thing before we tie up. If that safety car didn't come out, it was close, wasn't it? I think you were in the window to still stay with Boastman, but did you ever think that, that he just showed signs of pace that maybe was going to be hard to keep up with, but you always kind of kept it back? Did you stay comfortable kind of the full race?
Yeah, I kept the pace. I definitely had a strong run on the mediums. Softs, I'd say Boastman was much better on the softs than I was. So, lucky, to be fair. But yeah, it's something different around Bahrain, I guess, so not too bad.
Yes, you have ended a bad streak at this track. Is that right?
Yeah.
So
I think my last win I've had around here, other than this week's races, was season 7.
So
I'll take you on.
Maybe you've punched that little demon in your back of Bahrain in the head now, and that's it dealt with.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, they push you in the rest of the season. Of course, Brock got a bit unlucky today, but his pace still, he's on no assists, and his pace is crazy fast still. So I expect it's going to be a good fight between us, hopefully.
Yes.
But, yeah.
So one more thing before we go, Mitch. Do you have anything to ask Jensen?
Yeah, Jensen, congrats. Well done. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, no, it's not. We've got one more thing after that, in fact.
Yeah, one more thing. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Yes.
I don't know.
Okay. Driver of the day. They did say it for the game, for someone. I don't know.
It was. It begins with J. Jim Straps or something, I don't know.
But Chris, what do you think? It's a tough one, eh?
Yes, it was a very hard decision this evening. I had 2 drivers in mind, but I think one just stands out a little bit more, and it was somebody I spoke about pre-race, and it was my pick to actually win the race pre-race. I think Boastman drove particularly well today.
Okay.
I think other than that, SPW, I think if he boxed with the group, I think SPW had the chance to really get himself inside that top 5, but the choice to stay out, obviously it is what it is, but he ended up finishing lower than he started, so that for me just maybe took him out the running a little. So, yeah, although Boastman also finished lower than he started, but if one of the penalties have came essentially 3 warnings in one, then yeah, I think he drove he drove like a winner this evening, although he didn't win.
Yeah. Okay, no,
Are
cool.
you happy with that, Mitch?
Yeah, I'm happy with that. So, postman, right?
Yes.
Sure. Okay, cool.
So, on that note, the channel will be live on Monday and every Saturday going forward. Same times, WRL will be back next weekend. Bahrain short, so that will be something to certainly look forward to. And until then, me and Mitch will see you soon. Mitch.